Welcome to Talkin' Boxing Church Sunday edition. Therefore, we're doing results. If this is your first time watching, don't worry, it's not too complicated. We do the same thing every fucking week. Sundays we talk about results. Mondays we talk about the schedule. And on Wednesdays we talk about the news. Questions, comments, go ahead and lay them down. If I get a chance, I will answer you. If you need a link, send me a DM. I'll do what I can for you. And last but not least, share the fucking thing. Alright. Plenty of good fights coming up this week and plenty of news to talk about. But we are going to concentrate on the weekend that was. Now, we're going to have to dial it back all the way to Wednesday morning to be precise. Australia. Joseph Parker got me up real fucking early for absolutely no reason. TKO in the first round of the man they called Django, Faja Alpalu, who had a record of 15-3-2. He can call it a day. Joseph Parker looked raring to go, and that lasted all of a minute 30. So it is what it is. I'm happy he's back. The other little side note on that, Costa Tszయూ's junior, anyways, Costa Tszయూ's son, Nikita, the youngest one, 153. He's now 6-0. He won by TKO. Also in the first round, he was facing also an opponent who was Benjamin Bomber, who was also 5-0. So people were kind of expecting something a little stiffer, but two fast finishes in Australia on Wednesday morning. That leads us to Wednesday night. I got turned on to this guy a couple fights ago, and I've been watching. This was an Oscar De La Hoya Sugar Ray Leonard event in Los Angeles. Literally, the undercard, everybody had exactly one pro fight. On the A side, anyway. The main event, though, was a 6-rounder between Kareem Hackett, who's 10-0 at 175 pounds, and Christian Thomas, who was 11-2. It was a 6-rounder. Kareem Hackett, originally from Toronto, Ontario, by the way, finished it by KO in the 5th. Looked pretty good. To be honest, starting to show interest. I'm starting to show interest. All right. So from good news for a Canadian to bad news for a Canadian, Ryan Ford, Alberta. Okay, so obviously it didn't go his way. He unfortunately lost the decision. Curtis Millender, I mean, I guess he had more than I thought he did. It is what it is. It's the fight game. I'm not too worried about Ryan Ford. It kind of sucks that it was the kickoff of his promotion, but I'm sure there's another fight in the future for Ryan Ford. That being said, Curtis Millender, despite having an MMA and kickboxing background, did pretty good boxing now in his 3rd pro fight. One little highlight I want to bring up. A mutual friend of mine had brought him up a couple fights ago, but I stayed quiet because I wanted to see what the kid had. And I feel like we could talk about him now. Cruiserweight, Benjamin Alvarez. Also, I believe from Toronto, but fought on this card in Alberta against Josh Kitchen, making his pro debut. Ben looks good. Ben looks real good. He looks real interesting for that weight class. Good enough that I made phone calls. So that should give you an idea. So not all was lost in Alberta. Saturday afternoon, we had a British affair. It was 3 events, back to back to back. I had 3 screens going Saturday afternoon. Some good, some bad, a couple surprises. We'll start with Belfast, Northern Ireland. Luis Alberto Lopez surprises Michael Conlan with a TKO in the 5th round, wins the IBF World Featherweight strap. Conlan was down from the freaking uppercut from hell. He got back up, tried continuing, corner through the towel, did the right thing. I don't know what Michael Conlan does from here on in, but Lopez can definitely be proud of his performance. His stock went up. On the undercard, we got some pretty good fights. I'm going to skip a few here. There's a couple decent little fights, just nothing I'm going to talk about just yet. Pierce O'Leary, 11-0 now at 140 pounds, won the WBC International Super Lightweight strap, beating Alan Kosieri, who was 17-3. Good left hook in the first round. TKO finish for him. Pierce O'Leary. That WBC title looks mighty tasty. I'd put a Steve Claggett Dragon on that and end your 11-0 real quick. Anthony Carcase actually looked good. Won the IBO World Super Featherweight strap in a unanimous decision against Damian Warzinski. Nick Ball with a TKO finish in the 12th round. Now this one kind of fucking sucks. Nick Ball, Ludumo Lamati. It's an actually decent fucking fight. It was a good fucking fight. About 2:15 into round 12. It started going really bad for Lamani. Luckily, his towel threw in the towel. His corner threw in the towel. I'm not sure if they did it quick enough or... I mean, it's really hard to fucking judge this shit. The kid makes it to the corner and collapses. He was brought to the hospital. No news on him yet, but hopefully I'll have some for you soon. Lumudo Lamati, unfortunately, rushed to the hospital. Nick Ball wanting to celebrate, but can't really. Remains undefeated at 18-0 now. Other than Conlon getting knocked out, that was a pretty solid undercard. Let's go to Lancashire. We'll go to the Zone. Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. Main event was Mauricio Lara against Lee Wood. Undercard. Campbell Hatton, now 12-0, with a TKO finish of Michael Bulk, who was 6-2. Danny Ball, Nick Ball's brother, won the BBC English welterweight strap in an 8-round stoppage. Terry Harper defeats Ivana Hasbazin. WBA world title on the line there. Jack Catherall versus Dara Foley. This was actually interesting at 140 pounds. I would love to see Jack Catherall against Steve Claggett. WBA Intercontinental Super Lightweight strap. Foley was down in the 7th and in the 9th. Listen, it was close. There was almost a technical decision there. I think Catherall hit him when he was down. Lee Wood wins the unanimous decision over Mauricio Lara. Lara was down in the 2nd round. Wood was cut over the eye from a headbutt. Oddly enough, despite Lara winning the WBA World Featherweight title, they stripped him of the BBC title because, 7-day weigh-in check, he was like 0.4 pounds over. Strange. Okay, we continue across the pond. This time with Ben Shalom and Boxer. Dorset in the UK. Okoli versus Belan Smith. Undercard was pretty decent. To be honest, maybe the best undercard. There were some solid fucking fights there. 8-0 against 9-3, 6-0 against 8-1, 7-0 against 4-3, 10-0 against 7-6. It was, I don't know, the matchups just seemed good. They were competitive fights. Sam Egginton against Joe Pickford. Joe Pickford was undefeated in 20 fights. Sam Egginton, though, 33-8, now 34-8, wins it with a TKO in the 5th. Just too much for Joe Pickford. That 20-0 seems to have been blown up. All right, the big shocker for me now. P.S. Ryan Rodzicki with 3 Lions Promotion were ringside for this. Lawrence Okoli against Chris Belan Smith. I've been fucking saying it. I wish fucking Ryan Rodzicki would have been in that ring. Lawrence Okoli, 19-0. I said he was built up, and I didn't think he had what it took to face off against a guy like Ryan Rodzicki. Damn it, I was right. Chris Belan Smith with a beautiful finish there. Wins a majority decision. 116-107. 115-108. But one judge saw it a draw. Now, thankfully, you didn't see it as a win for Okoli, but I want to point this out to you, okay? Okoli's down in round 4, round 10, and round 11. Down on the floor. These are rounds that we could say are Belan Smith's. He's even deducted a point in the 5th and 7th. Okay, so 2-point deductions, 3 knockdowns, and that judge saw it a draw for Lawrence Okoli. Every fucking weekend, man. Every fucking weekend there's some bullshit. Oh, fuck. I love my sport. Sometimes it fucking hurts my heart. Alright, Saturday night now. We're going to head over to Indio, California. It was a DAZN weekend. Oscar De La Hoya. Golden Boy Promotions. DAZN. Oscar Collazo gets Belvin Jerusalem. Was your main event. Your co-main event. Your main event, Alexis Rocha against Anthony Young. Undercard. It was alright. It was alright. Nothing I'm gonna be ranting or raving about though. Yeah, Oscar Collazo wins it. Wins the WBO World Minimum Weight title against Jerusalem. Jerusalem just didn't come out for the 7th. Alexis Rocha wins by KO in the 5th. Beautiful shot, by the way. He actually dropped him in the 5th also, but finished it. Dropped him at the beginning of the 5th and then dropped him again and finished it. WBO, NABO, welterweight strap, Alexis Rocha. Alright, so the main reason we're here. Saturday night. Brampton, Ontario. A little closer to home. Still available on DAZN. United Boxing. Don McDonald. Tyler Buxton. So your main event was Sukdeep Badi against Sagar Narwat. Undercard. Melinda Watpool stops Angelica Flores in 4. Canesta Davis, still on the comeback trail, wins the unanimous decision 60-53 by all 3 judges against Bolano. Thomas Francis unfortunately loses his first loss. Was 2-0 with 1 draw. Took on Carlieto Santoro, now 7-0 at featherweight. I will point out that Santoro is unsigned. Another fighter who I'm pretty sure is also a free agent, Antonio Scarini, now in his 3rd pro fight, who was 1-0 with 1 draw previous to this, actually defeated Daniel Roach in a unanimous decision. 59-55 by 2 judges, 58-56 for 1. Considering Roach is 2-1-2, and you guys know what I think about fighters with draws, winning a unanimous decision over Roach is definitely a clear-cut indication. Santoro and Scarini. Okay. Mapunda Kalunga wins the unanimous decision against Uriel Hernandez. Although it was the main event, I'm going to flip him because I want to. Sukdeep wins by TKO in the 8th round against Narwat for the IBO Asia Pacific Super Welterweight strap, adding to his belt collection. However, Shaquille Finn, Ryan Young, that for me, considering the fact that Shaquille now has 29 fights as a professional, should have been the main event. IBO America's super middleweight strap was on the line. Scores of 99-91, 98-92, and 100-90, all for Shaquille Finn. Now, it's not to say that it was easy. Ryan Young gave as good as he could. Gave some solid fucking rounds. The main thing I want to draw away from this is the little wrinkles that Shaquille Finn added to his game in this fight. Just overall head movement. When his overall pressure game was being negated by Ryan Young using his distance, Shaq decided to use, his distance and his reach. Because despite him being a pressure fighter and needing to be on top of you like a blanket, he's got some long-ass arms. He's got the reach and the height. So, yeah, playing from the outside did well. The head movement especially, because as you get older, you kind of want your boxers to stay healthy, and it's nice to see Shaq walk away with no big cuts or bruises. Ryan Young, tough dude, man. Yeah, I've seen Shaq punch dudes, and Ryan Young's just tough as fucking nails. Hell of a fight for Shaquille Finn. I feel like we're just scratching the surface of these new layers, and I'm looking forward to his next fights. I feel like United Boxing knows it. They kind of got no choice. They're going to have to up the game soon. May not have been the main event on this one, but will be on the next one. I can almost guarantee it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for me. I took all of 17 minutes of your time and ran through the week. If you want, you can tune in tomorrow night at the same damn time, 9 p.m., and we'll talk about this week's boxing schedule. We got plenty of really good fights, including something going down at the Casino de Montreal on a Thursday night. Yours truly will be in attendance. And Wednesday, of course, we'll touch on the news. There's a lot of fucking stuff brewing right now, so we're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about on Wednesday. As usual, if you guys have questions and comments, go ahead and leave them. I will try and reply. If you need a link, send me a DM. I'll do what I can for you. Before I let you go, share the fucking thing. I'd appreciate it. And last but not least, the same thing I leave you with every fucking episode. Life is short. Just be nice to each other. I'll see you tomorrow night.